out here today demonstrating how we control leafy spurge. Some call it a noxious weed. I prefer to call it food for animals that is environmentally friendly, sustainable, and a good way to control unwanted vegetation. The landscape here can be quite rugged, so we are up and down a lot. We prefer to do it horseback to be environmentally sound with our native prairies. We also use border collies. That's our fences.
Currently, I am the chair of the SaskTel, the South of the Divide Conservation Action Program, and enjoying working with the producers in the Southwest. South of the Divide is the Milk River watershed, which catches the southwest corner of Saskatchewan, and the water drains south into the States.
The ranchers, with the conservation of the grassland, we understand that what's good for the cattle and good for the grass is also good for the wildlife. So it's a win-win for both sides.
SaskTel asked me to come and look at a piece of property to let them know what I thought about managing it with animals instead of herbicide. Because of the terrain and the high water table and that sort of thing. We don't really like to spray and pollute our underground water system. They have species at risk here as well, so I feel that that's the reason that I was brought in, is to help control vegetation where the nesting and other like birds and reptiles are in. We try and monitor that. We try and stay out of their environments if we see them nesting in areas, but we try and open up space to allow them to be able to survive amongst here.
Critical habitat, basically it is rare, but very specific requirements for various species. And again, the South of the Divide area, that southwest corner of the province, it's sort of the northern tip of the Great Plains region of North America, jutting into Saskatchewan and southeast Alberta. And there's species there that are found nowhere else in Canada, such as the sage grouse, swift fox, McCowan's longspur, and other ones as well, and some that do extend further into the province, like the burrowing owl, is in serious trouble. It's the only place in Canada where black-tailed prairie dogs are found. So it's a very unique area.
From the Saskatchewan Stock Growers and SaskTel, we've put in some cross fencing. And the point of cross fencing is to not only keep cattle on a patch of ground, but keep them off the other parts of the pasture so that they can regrow. But one thing we found out after 2016 was how fragile that land is. And with the rainfall event that we had, it washed gullies, like I said earlier, 12 feet deep. And it's a silty soil, it's scepter heavy clay, and it becomes, when it's dry, it loses all its structure. It hasn't got a massive root system. And a massive root system that can only be built by native grasses. The whole top would be gone eventually if it was farmed. And that's the thing about native grass is, as well, it always will come back with rest.
I don't call them weeds as much as I call them unwanted vegetation, because in my mind they have a purpose. We are raising goats, we are raising sheep on it. It creates a sustainable protein for people. Food source that is in high demand now within our country. We import a lot, so we need to have more of it. I guess I started on this as a sheep producer back 23, 24 years I've been in the business. Recently got into goats within the last, say, 11 years. We were using them for the same reason. is to be sustainable, practical, environmentally friendly.
Native pasture is grasslands that have never been broken by a plow, and they've been like in their current state for hundreds, thousands of years, and native grasslands are very productive and resilient. They survive droughts, they survive wet years, and they survive. Grasslands evolved with grazing. The bison would graze the grasslands. The southwest corner of the province has the largest amount of native grasslands remaining. About 50% of the area is still native grasslands, whereas you take the Regina Plain from Moose Jaw to Regina to Weyburn, over 99% of that landscape is gone.
It's a community of grasses, a community of plants. It's not just grasses, there's sedges and shrubs and everything else that are growing in with the native grass. It's a community that has of grasses or plants that have a symbiotic relationship with one another. And that's what makes it so magical.
There's been a lot of talk about carbon sequestration, and we're doing that because we're taking this vegetation off and promoting other growth to come up in, and animals are eating that other growth. The wildlife is coming in, the cattle are coming in. We're all in sync with nature here, and we're trying to create that carbon sequestration in another way by using weeds that other people don't want. So unwanted vegetation is a big deal for me. I think it's our future. I think the less we can use on prime land when we have species at risk involved, that we need to start looking at these alternatives. They can be an economical way to do things.
Many of the producers do have private land, but a lot of the land is leased land from the province as well. So it's public land, but the producers manage it for the good of themselves, obviously, and for biodiversity, and that's where SaskTel is trying to help out and form partnerships and secure funding. We do get funding from the United States. They recognize that a lot of the species that nest up here winter in the U.S., so species at risk do not recognize boundaries, so we need to work collectively together.
We'll start with the wildlife. We've seen elk, antelope, mule deer, flagtail, moose, turkey vulture, piping plovers, meadowlarks, hawks. We have ferruginous hawks, American kestrel, all the kinds of geese, pelicans, swans, cliff sparrows, pipits, curd-beak curlews, coyotes galore.
We will be here in the future, I'm sure, because this is the most environmentally sound way of doing things.
It's sort of the last stronghold in the province for grasslands, and it's really important that we work with landowners, and we have the support as a non-profit. We have the support of governments, industry, individuals, and obviously the producers as well. So it takes a real team effort.
I don't see there being any problem with a balance between habitat and what you're doing as a rancher. If you get to learn what they are doing, I think you will have a greater understanding of nature, and we could appreciate each other a lot more.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sastel.com.